Greetings and welcome. I'm Rhadiyah Hutchen and I am the moderator for tonight. Today, in case none of you are aware, this is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, in particular Prostate Cancer Awareness Week. Prior to this, did you all know that there was such a thing as Prostate Cancer Awareness Week?
No.
Right. Okay. So National Prostate Health Month, it's been observed every Sunday in North America by health experts, health advocates, and individuals concerned with men's prostate health. Designating a month for the issue serves the purpose of increasing public awareness of the importance of prostate health, providing easily accessible prostate health screenings, educating about risk factors and symptoms of prostate-related diseases, and advocating for further research on prostate health issues. In 2001, Senate Resolution 138, sponsored by Senator Conrad Burns, endorsed the week and affirmed that the Prostate Health Month would be observed annually. And in 2003, presidential proclamation, President George Bush voiced his support for the month, but instead of designating the month to be for prostate health in general, specifically named the month National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And some other interesting facts, in 1989, the decade before the creation of National Prostate Health Month, the week of September 17th through September 24th was specifically chosen as Prostate Cancer Awareness Week. And so there's more of a breakdown from the dates of September 10th through the 16th was Prostatitis Week. I know I messed that up. And then again, the 17th through the 24th, Prostate Cancer Awareness Week. 24th through the 30th, benign prostatic hypertrophy. I can't talk. BPH week. And in April, they have from the 1st to the 7th, Testicular Cancer Awareness Week. So I'm going to share with you all a little PowerPoint that I did. I hope you all can see it. Okay. So again, the campaign is Right to Fight, about prostate cancer awareness, and the product in particular that we're going to have a discussion about is, of course, the Cherish Pad, but also Max Life. And so Nspire, as we know, was established in November of 2016, founded by 3 men: Joel Medina, the COO, Crump, Director of Field and Training Development, and then Coleman, which is the Global Sales Director. So, and the global headquarters is right here in Atlanta. And the mission is to educate and inform men and women regarding the prevention of prostate cancer. This is specifically for this event today. And then to partner with community organizations globally. And we've been featured as a company, Nspire Network, on Bloomberg and the Kathy Ireland Show, the Modern Living Show, Business for Home. And we also had an event collaboration with senior editor of Essence Magazine. Making a Difference, Right to Fight Global Awareness Campaign. We conduct focus groups in homes, hotels, places of worship around the world. It's a grassroots campaign. And we also do 5K walk runs events. We've had 2, one right here, and then we had another one in Florida, and we're getting ready to have another one in New Orleans. And the solution is it's a driven campaign that has created one of the answers to men's challenges as they age. In 2017, the American Cancer Society had estimated that there's 161,360 men that will be newly diagnosed, or were newly diagnosed with prostate cancer, and 26,730 men will die from the disease. 60% of cases of prostate cancer arise in men over 65 years of age. African American men, as well as Jamaican men of African ancestry, are diagnosed with prostate cancer more often than men of other races and ethnicities. Prostate cancer can run in families. A man whose father or brother has had prostate cancer is twice more likely to develop the disease. And the younger the family member is when he is diagnosed with prostate cancer, the higher the risk for male relatives to develop prostate cancer. The risk of developing prostate cancer also increases with the number of relatives affected. Diets high in red meats, and I basically have a T-bone steak here, and fatty foods, we love the mac and cheese, and the dinner rolls, and low in fruits and vegetables, especially that of fresh fruits and vegetables, appear to be associated with a higher risk of developing prostate cancer, and obesity is also linked to higher risks of the disease. Increased calcium intake and dietary foods may increase the risk of prostate cancer as well. So, okay. So moving on, I would like for Rahim to come up and do a demo of the Cherish pad and talk about that.
Are you recording now?
First off, I would like to thank Dr. Malloy for opening his place of practice for us. Our community really needs this information badly. I have huge shoes to follow in this man's office. I think he may be responsible for two of my brothers. They're my mom's gynecological health, right? So that's kudos to him. He's been a staple in this community. I'm sure he'll come up here and tell us some more about why we're all here. So the Cherish product line. First off, let me tell you guys just a little bit about how I even got involved. Someone asked me the question, if you had information that could potentially save someone's life, okay, or improve their health, would you share it or would you listen? And so it was followed by a video by one of our founders, Mr. Crump. And after viewing this video, some months later, I was able to get my hand on the product. And I said, man, if this product works, I got so many women, through business, through family relationships that could use this product, if it's really as good as the video pertains to be. So some months passed, I finally got my hand on the product and I got it to one of the girls that I would consider maybe the worst case scenario when it comes to her cycles. Horrible cycles since the age of about 13, 14, bedridden for 3 days, just you name it, everything that is associated with a bad cycle, this young lady went through it. So she was able to use the product for the first time. I still have it in my phone, but she texted me at 12:15 in the morning and said, it works. So you can imagine for the first time out of almost 10 years of bad cycles that something is working for this young lady, taking the pain away. In some cases, you even have to go to the emergency room. Mm-hmm. So in her first time using this product that we're going to demonstrate to you today, it worked, and that's why I'm here. And a major advocate. I stand on the front line when it comes to our women's health. Because I have a wife and I also have a 16-year-old daughter at home. So fortunately enough, she never has even worn an always pad anything because she got it before. She got Cherish product line before. So we got a whole lot of women that need to know this information. So let me just demonstrate to you. This is a traditional pad. This pad, the way that it's designed, probably makes up about 40% of the market. Okay, so that means most women that's tied to you, or even you yourself, may have had an experience with this product. More than likely you have. And most people recognize, the way that this product is made. First off, this product, has some false advertisement to it, because it tells you can use it for 10-hour absorbency system, 10-hour leak guard protection. And we know that women are probably only getting about, what would you say, ladies, maybe about 1 to 3 hours, depending on the flow of this product right here. So that's first off, right? So we're gonna put this here. Now we're gonna take our product, which is the Cherish Premium Sanitary Napkin. Okay. And we're gonna put them side by side. Two things that we know during this time of the month that women have expressed to us. They let us know that during that time of month, two things they want to happen. They want to be comfortable and they want to be dry. Okay? So what we're going to do is find out if we can attain that this evening. So I have our day pad against a night pad of the traditional brand. And if I could have someone in the audience just come up here and just rub the two and just tell me, do you feel different? Matter of fact, we just finished talking about the right to fight. We'll have this young gentleman come up. He has women in his life that he loves and cherishes. So just rub on those two. That's the traditional. Give it an open hand. Like, really, feel that. Because you want to have the experience like if you was wearing it. So which would you? That's much softer? You're right? Okay. And that's what most people say. When we put them side by side, most people are going to say that this pad is more softer in texture. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an absorbency test. Okay. Now we talked with, since we have a real gynecologist in the building, maybe you can confirm this for me. We, on average, gynecologists, healthcare professionals say that a woman is going to exude a feminine flow of 15 to 50 milliliters on average. Is that the case?
I don't think that's true.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, we're actually going to go about 50 milliliters here. Okay. Can you confirm it for me? That we're at 50 milliliters? Okay. So I'm going to start off with the conventional pad first. Okay. And I'm going to put this 50 milliliters of water. And remember, this is the leak guard, 10-hour leak guard protection. Okay. And what I'm going to do in mine, which is a whole lot smaller in stature, we're going to go to 75. We're going to go beyond this 50 mark. And we're going to go about 70, 75, 80 milliliters. And if you could confirm that for me, that's where we are. Okay. Now, let's put this in here like this. Okay. So we're going to submerge this pad in more water than the conventional pad. Okay. Let's get it all in here. We almost got it here. All right. Okay. So we're going to do an absorbency test here. Now, the reason why this is very, very important. First off, because a woman on average is going to have to wear these products anywhere from 15 to 20,000 times in her menstrual lifetime, especially after her flow, she's going to be using panty liners, right? And then for a woman wearing a tampon, statistics say that she's going to wear a tampon over 100,000 hours in her menstrual lifetime. So it's very, very important that these be constructed in a way that's conducive to her health, as well as the products that they're using, that they're making these with, because they're going to have to wear them and have contact with them so many times, right? So let's test this absorbency right quick. I'm just going to take a regular dinner napkin, a little pink dinner napkin, and I'm going to put some pressure and barely, look guys, I'm barely touching that. I'm barely touching it, and you can see. But I'm just going to kind of simulate a woman sitting down on this pad, and as you can see, it's 100% wet as well as my hand is wet. And there lies the problem that our women are facing every single time. Now I'm going to sit that right there. Now I'm going to do the same thing to mine. Get my hands dry here. And I'm going to simulate a woman sitting down on this pad. And could anybody just tell me how much water I put in here? On this one? 75 milliliters, right? So I'm going to put some pressure on here. And you guys can see I'm shaking the table. I'm hitting on this pad. And we get absolutely
Amazing.
Okay. And I've done this demonstration, I would say over 100 times. And every time it comes up dry, I'm like, wow, because I can see a solution. I can see a solution to what our women are going through. And when you do your own research, independent research, and see some of the issues that our women and challenges that our women, as far as when it comes to their menstrual health, is staggering, especially in our community. So this is very important. So at this point in the demonstration, most women will say, how can I get this product? Where is it? I want to try it. I want to get this product back home to my loved ones, right? But we take it a step further because we are representing the Now We Know Women's Awareness Campaign. Something that you need to know about these products is that these products are considered medical devices, okay? So anytime it's considered a medical devices, they do not, through the FDA regulations, they do not have to list the ingredients on the package. That's why there's no pad or tampon package that actually lists the ingredients on there. So we're going to show you actually what's in these pads. So first off, this pad has about 4 layers to it. I'm just going to break it down right quick. And this first layer that's coming off the top of this pad, okay, is 100% synthetic. Okay? Y'all know what synthetic means? Man-made, right? So it's definitely not natural. So you can see here, as you can even look closer, that doesn't even look comfortable. You know what I mean? And you can see that it's made of rayons, polypropylene, different synthetic fibers, basically plastics. And most women will tell you that they're not having a good experience with this product because when it gets wet and it's heated and it's abrasive against the skin, right? So the second layer here is the quote-unquote absorbency system. Okay, they have a nice blue pastel colors here in your mind to let you think that this is the actual 10-hour bead guard protection. But as you can see, it's merely just a strip of paper with blue dye on it, right? So what is happening when this blue dye gets wet? What do you think is happening when this blue dye gets wet? Yeah. So now this is back having in contact with the bloodstream to a woman's most intimate parts, right? And we know blue dye is not good. Any dye is not good for your system, right? So we're going to take this absorbency system right here, and we got 2 cups of water here, and we're going to call this one the one with the most amount of water. Just fill it up here. And as you can see, that one has the least amount. And we're going to put this absorbency system, give them a little help, and put it in there with the water. Now, like I told you, I've done a lot of these demonstrations And most, I would say 99% of the audience will always say this right here is cotton, because that's what it appears and that's what it looks like. So if that's what it looks like to you, and that's what people assume that it is, that's what it is in their mind. They feel like this is cotton. This is nothing merely but recycled trash. Okay? Recycled trash out of the landfill, that these products are going through a series of bleaching, chlorine system, and who knows what other chemicals, because they're not transparent on how they actually do it. But we do know that it's not natural cotton at all. Okay? And as you can see by its makeup here, that this is not cotton. Okay? So, if it's not cotton and it's synthetic chemicals, we know that chemicals get reactivated by heat and moisture. So now when you're sitting on this pad, there are some things that's going on that we really don't have 100% of the facts on, but we do know that it's probably not healthy for you at all. Okay? So we're gonna take this and put this one in the one with the least amount of water. Put it down in there. See if it absorbs this 10-hour leak guard protection. Now, I know y'all gonna stop giving me bad news on these pads, but it's not, it gets worse. They're taking the landfill trash and putting it in a trash bag. This is merely a trash bag. Yeah. No ventilation can get through plastic. No ventilation whatsoever. So anything that's contained inside of this plastic, you heat it up, and then you have to ask yourself the question, what's in the feminine flow? Okay? We know it's biological waste. We know it's yeast. We know it's bacteria, good bacteria, bad bacteria. But we know that when these leave a woman at a time of cleansing, that a series of bacteria is in there once it hits the air. And now our women are literally sitting on this bacteria inside of this pad with no ventilation, right? Along with the other various chemicals and dyes that's in this pad right here. So again, I told you guys we are part of an awareness campaign, but what's so unique about our Now We Know awareness campaign is that we really have a solution that's not just a bunch of hype talk. We actually have a solution that is working. And we have so many testimonials on this pad right here. And I'm gonna show you why we deem it the solution, right? So I'm just gonna break this one down. So our pad has actually 8 layers to keep a woman comfortable and dry, starting with cotton, okay? So as you can see, this is cotton. It's definitely not acting like a synthetic material. It's white cotton, and you can see all the holes. And as I'm touching it, you all can see my hands is bone dry. This material is 100% dry. Now, this right here, I think Dr. Malloy is going to explain to us a little bit more, but this right here is an algae strip, okay? This algae strip right here has negative ions, or it's infused in it, negative ions, nano silver, and infrared ray technology. And I want you guys to do your research on what those actual elements are doing, or the type health benefits, and all of the continuous research that they are constantly doing on it right now to improve this technology with, our health is concerned. But they put those elements where women need it the most. The nano silver is killing that bacteria. So we have so many testimonials of no odors, okay? We also have a lot of testimonials of no cramps, okay, because of the negative ions and the infrared ray technology working together. It also acts as a detoxification, okay? I was doing some research on infrared ray technology and all of what the benefits it does. Absorbency system out, And you all remember how much water I put in this absorbency system or in this pad?
75 milliliters.
75 milliliters, okay? So we're gonna take it out right here and we're gonna put it in the one with the most amount of water. You may ask what this is. It's actually polymer, okay? It's a plant grade polymer, so it's safe. It's similar to what's in baby's diapers, so it's able to absorb. We're gonna stick it in the one with the most amount of water. Sit them side by side. We also have air-laid paper. You can see how thick that is. It's designed for any moisture to go down and penetrate through the pad and bring it down to the bottom of the pad and keep it off a woman's body, which is going to give her a more comfortable experience. Okay? Now, we don't put our women in a trash bag. No, we wouldn't do that to our ladies, especially for the sake of the Now We Know campaign, right?
Right.
We're going to help our women feel better. So we actually are using a much better material. It's actually a plant grade plastic, okay? So it's safe. And also, if you look closely, you can see the 4 strips there, as well as thousands and thousands of little holes there. All that's designed for ventilation, okay? And as you can see, it's also biodegradable. I'm barely tearing it. It's not that thick, hard plastic where no ventilation can get through it. So now it's giving our women a much, much better experience. And it's like they went to no expense when it came to our women's health. They designed something for you guys to feel better. Now, if you look here, been talking for a couple minutes, and you can see this 10-hour absorbency system is not absorbing at all. And this is what we need to educate our women on. The wetness, the continuous wetness that's taking place, the bacteria that's been wrapped up in these pads. That's not, we know that that's not good if you're gonna do that 15 to 20,000 times. Now, this right here has been barely sitting in here for 2 minutes, right? And it has completely absorbed all of the water in here. And I can even kind of tip it over and you can see that no water whatsoever is coming out of here. Okay, no water at all. And that right there is going to give our women a much comfortable experience, okay? So I want to put, do we have any testimonials besides mine? Yeah. Sydney, you have one?
Yes.
Come on up, tell us your testimonial right quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, so I'm Sydney, and I started using the pads a year ago. And before I started, my cycle was 7 days, and I would need to be near the bed the first day. But now my cycle is like 3 to 4 days, and I'm good. Like I don't need to be. Sometimes it just comes on. I'm like, oh okay, hey, I know you're here. I didn't even know you're coming, type thing. So I use the panty liners like a week before my cycle comes on, and then once it's on, I use the day pads, and I'm good. So it's great. It's an awesome product. I believe in it. So.
Wow. Can I ask you something right quick?
Yeah.
I heard you specifically mention that you use the day pad. You know the day pad is for regular flow.
Mm-hmm.
When you were using the conventional pads, did you have to use something that, like, for heavier flow? Did your flow change? What did you say?
Yeah, I was using more so the night pad with the other companies.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit bigger for me, but I didn't even need, like the night pad is too big. My flow is lighter. So I'm like, oh wow, okay. So
Good.
Yeah,
And you would put that as because you started using the Cherish product line.
definitely.
So let me ask you one more question,
Yeah.
right? And this is not scripted at all. She doesn't even know that I'm asking her these questions. So what would you say when you know that a lot of girls or women is having a bad experience like you yourself used to have before you start using Cherish? What would you say to them as far as about this product and for them to get this product and start using this as their brand of choice?
Well, I would definitely tell them to do their research and look at whatever brand they're using, what they use in their pads, and then just at least try this out for your cycle. You know, try it for the week. Like I said, use the liners for the week, and then your pad of choice depending on your flow, and then just see for yourself. That's the only way you'll really know is if you try it out. But once you try, you won't go back. I haven't been back. It's been a year and change.
Wow, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So y'all hear somebody, like, I can do these demonstrations all day, but I can't make the connection that a woman could with these products. And all I know is we don't make any medical claims, but what we do know is that from the conventional pads to starting to use Cherish, our women are having a much healthier and comfortable experience. So now we know.
Now we
okay?
know.
And one more thing before I leave. Statistically, according to the CDC, there are over 600,000 hysterectomies performed in a year's time in the U.S. alone. That's a lot of women every single year. And guess what? The majority of them are the women that live right here in this community. Okay? So it's very important that we get this information out, because think about when it comes to hysterectomies, and I'm hearing even the numbers are in the teens now as far as the age bracket is going down to the teens.
It's not a game.
It's not a game at all, because in order to get a hysterectomy, first you have to get diagnosed from the doctor, or a doctor has to recommend that you get one. So, like, everybody needs to know about this. Even healthcare professionals need to know about this, because these numbers, that's staggering. We look at a lot of the health challenges that our women are facing. A lot of it's coming through the womb when you do your research, and you'll see that. So without further ado, I'll be bringing up Dr. Malloy, talk a little bit more.
Actually, we're going to make this as a panel, so you all be sitting
Oh,
down.
okay,
We're
we
gonna
did
ask
here.
you some
Okay,
questions.
okay, good deal.
Hot seat. This is supposed to have been a panel discussion. Unfortunately, our third panelist, there was some misunderstanding, and so he wasn't going to be able to come. So we're just going to ask the questions of Rahim and Dr. Malloy. Okay, so you pretty much shared with us, Rahim, how you were exposed to the Now We Know awareness campaign, Nspire Network. Dr. Malloy, if you would share your experience of how someone shared Nspire Network and Now We Know awareness campaign with you.
Well, one of the gentlemen who also has done the demonstrations and was well aware of the program before I was, his wife is a patient of mine. And so the fact that we're talking about Cherish pads and talking about GYN, talking about bleeding, they thought it would be something for me to have knowledge about, but nothing else to share with some of my patients. And so I went to a focus group and saw the demonstration, and just like he said, like everyone else has said, it was like, wow, okay. I was like, why don't more people know about this? And so I felt almost an obligation at that point, okay, to make sure that I could do my share to spread the information about this. So that was my introduction.
Great. Okay, thank you. And also, if you can go a little further into your practice.
Okay. Well, I'm a gynecologist. Now, I say gynecologist because most people say OBGYNs, but I stopped delivering babies back in 2006. So I'm proud to say I've earned my way to being a gynecologist. And I've been in this community for almost 37 years in the South DeKalb community. And so I feel a connection with my patients with respect to not just their doctor, but I mean, I'm their neighbor, okay? I'm a neighbor of this community. And so it's important for me, okay, to do what I can to help patients, not just from the standpoint of providing a medication or doing surgery, but I think we need more preventive care. And to me, with Nspire, and in particular the Cherish pads, to me it acts as a preventive element for a lot of the problems that that women are experiencing. I'm a researcher, Okay, in addition to having a GYN practice, I do clinical research, and so it allowed me to actually look into the ingredients of this pad to see why is this pad so good and why are the other pads so bad. And so nothing that I would have looked at before, because I just assumed, because that was the only thing on the market, that that's how a pad is supposed to be. And then finding out that, whoa, there are some differences. There are some internal differences that are not expressed on the packaging, okay, as was mentioned, of the conventional pad. So researcher, gynecologist, father, okay, husband, okay, I have nieces, female friends, okay, I feel that I have an obligation to spread the word.
Okay, thank you very much. And Rahim, if you could give a little more background information about yourself.
Okay, so I've been in the carpet cleaning and flood industry for almost 20 years. And again, being a father, husband, so many women in my life. When I saw that video, I was literally floored, because not only did I know that it could be something that could change the world, it also was something that we as a community have never been on the profit side of it. We've only been consumers, period. And then we're being consumers of a product that is not working. And to see a lot of the side effects that, just talking with different women and just seeing a lot of the side effects that we feel like is contributed to traditional pads and tampons, and then having the education to let them know, hey, there's a solution. It moved me in a way to where I was like, I'm going to be the first to be on the front line of this campaign and just tell every single person I know that there's something better for them, that they don't have to continue suffering, because the numbers and the stories are really horrible, and they even get graphic. And I think because not in just our community, but I feel like all communities view it as a taboo subject. And for the first time, I believe in history, a campaign like this has come up to where people are now talking, fathers are talking to their daughters, people are being educated, people are now looking and actually researching now. We know it, we see the numbers, we see what's going on. So I would just say, I'm a huge advocate for this campaign, and I spend a lot of time with it as far as researching and helping people out with the campaign.
Okay, great, thank you. And so, switching gears to our simultaneous campaign, the Right to Fight, Dr. Malloy, what has impacted you personally in seeing the Right to Fight awareness campaign?
Well, first of all, I'm a male, okay, and we don't speak enough about the prostate health issues for a lot of reasons. I think it's because it's not glamorous. It may not get the attention, but we have to realize that prostate diseases in men of all ethnicities is significant. It's the #1 cause of cancer in all Americans. And me as an African American male, it's more personal because, first of all, I've had a father with prostate cancer, a brother with prostate cancer, and I was recently diagnosed in the last year with prostate cancer. So I understand, okay, that it's out there. I understand that there isn't enough education about it. I understand that Nspire, okay, with their supplements, okay, has the ability to at least help African American men in general, okay, concerning their prostate health. It can improve it. So for me, being personally involved and understanding the necessity for more people to be educated about a disease or diseases within the prostate, to me, it's a must. It's something I have to do. Even though I am a gynecologist, the most important thing is I am A, a man, and B, I'm a physician. okay? And I think that combination, okay, warrants me to spread the word and do whatever I can to let people know that there may be some things out here that can at least help and improve their prostate health.
Okay, great. Same question, Rahim.
I think it's a wonderful campaign. We do need to share more awareness about it. I do know statistically the numbers affects more of the African American community, but like I say, in men in general, I am doing more research. I've been so involved with the Now We Know campaign, but I haven't turned 40 yet, but it's coming up real soon. So I will be doing more research in that. And just for preventative measures, I'm going to be taking the Max Life prostate supplement, because anything preventative, because at the end of the day, we're only as good as our health. We can only go so far as our health. So I believe in the health of our men in our community, and I'm a huge advocate of the Right to Life campaign as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And so now switching to talk about Cherish, why would Cherish be a benefit to men in terms of using the product, Dr. Malloy?
Well, it's funny that you asked that question, because when I've been in focus groups and I've mentioned the fact that I actually have used the Cherish pad, and I still use the Cherish pad, people look at me like a little strange. So I have to explain to them that unfortunately, well, I guess you can say fortunate and unfortunate. Fortunately, there are treatments for prostate cancer. They're radical type treatments, major surgery, if indeed you have disease like I had, at the aggressive nature. And bringing up another point, when he talked about research, it has been shown for African American men, unfortunately, when the diagnosis is usually made, it is usually made at an advanced stage. It's usually made when the prostate is larger. And so most of the time, we have to have more radical treatment than, let's say, someone whose disease may have been caught sooner. Well, one of the radical procedures is called a radical prostatectomy, which is where they're actually not only removing the prostate gland, but they're removing the lymph nodes that are around the prostate gland. It's similar to when a woman has breast surgery and they check the lymph nodes, okay, in her axillary area to see if there's been any spread of disease. Well, the same thing works for the lymph nodes that are outside the prostate gland. So when you have a radical prostatectomy, they actually remove the gland and the lymph nodes.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the anatomy of the prostate, and a lot of people, if you ask the average man, where is the prostate gland? What does the prostate gland do? He doesn't even know, okay? And the issue is, it sits so close to the bladder, okay? And it sits, the nerves that are near the prostate gland, okay, are the same nerves that can innervate, okay, the actual erectile tissue for the man. That from this surgery, a man will have two things. He will have erectile dysfunction, okay, and he will have incontinence, okay. And most urologists will come right out and tell you that right from the beginning. They don't try to sugarcoat it. They let you know following this surgery, okay. If you're fortunate that you don't, you are definitely an outlier. You are basically lucky, okay. And most men are going to have those symptoms. So for me, the erectile dysfunction wasn't that much of an issue. I wasn't that concerned about that. But let's face it, when you're not used to losing urine spontaneously, it does affect your lifestyle. It begins to make you think about how a woman feels when all of a sudden her cycle starts and she's not expecting it. So it gave me a perspective of why the Cherish pad was so beneficial for women. But it also, I said to myself, well, you know what? I don't want that urine up against me. Okay, I know that it's gonna come out. I want to remain dry. I don't want to be constantly looking down at my pants and see if I have stained my pants. I don't want to be wearing black pants all the time. And I will tell you something. Prior to my using the Cherish pad, okay, that's what I was doing. I was wearing black pants all the time because I was so concerned of being embarrassed, okay, having this urine stain, okay, on my pants, that I thought, let me do what I can, okay, to protect that by wearing black. Now, as you see, I wear any color pants, okay? I'm not worried about it because I know that if I'm going to have some leakage, I know that Cherish pad has definitely helped me. And just one more point I want to make about that. I met a friend of mine. He's a family practice doctor. When he heard about my issue, his brother, okay, who lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts, was just about to have a radical prostatectomy for his cancer, and he asked me if I would speak to him, okay, after his surgery, also about using the pad. And I called him, didn't know him, but I knew his brother, and he told me, he says, I'm ordering them today, okay? He says, because I didn't realize he had the surgery. I thought maybe I misunderstood. I thought he was going to know he already had the surgery. And it was something that it was making him stay at home. Okay, it wasn't so much wearing black pants. He wasn't leaving the house, okay, because he felt it was so uncomfortable to know that urine could come out at any time. And he didn't want to wear a catheter all the time because of the risk of wearing a catheter. And so I said to him, look, I'm telling you, I've been using it, it has made a difference. And believe you me, he then sent me a text like a week or two later and told me, thank you. Thank you very much. Because it allowed him to live a better life than when he was living, recovering from his surgery.
Okay, great, thank you. And this is for both of you. I'll start with you, Rahim. Have you found someone not in support of this particular campaign, and why?
Man, yeah, a lot.
Really?
A lot, and I'll tell you why. I wouldn't say maybe it's more so the campaign. It's just that I don't like the mindset that a pad could change your health. It's just not there. And that's why we have a campaign, because we're trying to get more eyes on it. We're trying to, educate people. We're showing them the wet dry test. Some people will walk away from the wet dry test like it wasn't nothing. I think maybe just some people are just negative. Some people, some women, I believe, are selfish. I think people are selfish because sometimes we have women that's past that stage in their life, and they're like, it don't have anything to do with me. And I'm like, and I ask them every time, and I take it personal. I'm like, what about all these girls that's missing school, all these young women that's missing work because they're having a heavy flow, or they're going through all of these problems and issues, the odors, the cramps and everything. What about them? And a lot of times I'm able to get them to pause and think, because like I say, it's a mindset. Even it's a mindset that now you have to get these pads offline and order them, which is the most easiest thing to do. And I don't know any man or woman that really likes to go to the store to buy pads. Nobody really likes to do it. So to have them come to your home and you not even have to think about it. So yeah, I have faced some adversity to the campaign. And another thing too that I just thought about, seeing what this has done for your health, the dramatic changes that some of our women have faced, and to go back to those pads, we have a lot of work to do, because that's what they're doing. Some of them are doing. So we still have a lot of work to do. And to me, realistically, just because I have children, I feel like kids, they are usually getting their products from the monetary support from their parents.
Yes.
So to be honest with you, adults can make their own decision. I really lean towards kids and our young girls, because they don't have a choice. So I feel like we have to do more in getting through, like we got through the healthcare with Dr. Malloy, and like to the school system, because they're passing laws in the U.S. where every school has to have pads. But where are they getting the pads? They're getting the traditional pads.
Exactly.
Not only are they getting the traditional pads, but they're getting a cheaper version. So who knows what's in there? And now we are putting our girls back on this endless cycle. So I just feel like, you know, no matter what type of response I get from the campaign, I know what it's doing for our health. I know what it can do for the health of our women. So we just have to get this word out and be relentless at it and try to get more people to join this campaign and talk about it, because it's that serious.
Yes, Dr. Malloy?
Well, I'm going to add significant to what he just said, because it is important what he said. Two areas that I'm seeing resistance. One, it's the mindset of people. If they don't see it in a magazine, hear it on the radio, see it on TV, okay, then it's not real. Okay, we are so used to being subjected by marketing, okay, that is what has to be the thing that convinces someone that something really works. So that's one of the problems. And that's why the focus groups, okay, are great. The conferences we have are great, but that's one of the areas where people are having difficulty willing to accept the Cherish pad, because they're not getting the quote unquote acceptance because it's not in mainstream media. That's number one. Number two is you have people who still feel that the tampon, okay, is what every woman should be using. Now, let's think about it for a second. Why did they invent the tampon? Okay, if someone just kind of thought about that for a second, they invented the tampon because they realized one thing, that the pad wasn't doing what they wanted it to do. So instead of making a better pad, what they actually did was added another negative health concern to a woman by having her put something inside the vagina to slow the blood down, okay, so that now the pad doesn't have to collect but maybe 5 cc's, okay? So that would make the pad seem like, oh, the pad is working because look, it's absorbing this 5 cc's, not realizing that you have something now that's actual dangerous, okay, life-threatening up inside the vagina that's holding back a lot of that blood. And so people got used to the tampon, and so just the thought of wearing a pad again, they're thinking, I don't want that, okay, in me. I don't want everything which a demonstration showed. I don't want all that wetness outside. Maybe there won't be as much odor, okay, so I'll use a tampon. So even though we have this pad that is definitely healthier and more effective, they're already psyched to using a tampon that they can't fathom, okay, going back to a pad because of what they've been conditioned to. So those are the two groups of people that I've come across, okay, that have been the most difficult to try to say, look, I understand why you're where you are. I understand it, okay? And that's why we're trying to say you don't have to worry about that now, okay? Let's use something that's safer and more effective.
I would have thought you're being a doctor, with as much in our society as we revere doctors, that you would not have had any opposition at all.
I don't have any opposition.
Within your patients that you see and that are making the switch.
Oh, no, not at all. Matter of fact, I have always been, if there's such a way of saying this, an anti-tampon person, okay? Because to me, it wasn't natural, okay? I look at the body as natural, okay? Everything that comes out of us comes out naturally without any blockage, in lack of a better word, okay? Whether we're having a bowel movement, whether we're coughing, whether we're vomiting, whether we're urinating, whether it's, everything comes out, okay? But when you think about what a tampon is doing, it's actually going against nature, okay? It's doing something to impeding what the body is supposed to do. That blood is to come out of you when it leaves that uterus. It's supposed to go through the vagina and out. It's not supposed to come out of the uterus, sit in the vagina, let bacteria feed off of it, and then let that bacteria go back into your bloodstream to cause, in a lot of instances, toxic shock syndrome, which, as we know, can be fatal. So, for me, even before the church pad, I thought that tampons was not something she could use. However, me saying it and a young lady feeling that it was more applicable to her lifestyle is something different. Now I can go back to those same young ladies and say, okay, I know why you use a tampon. I know, I get it. Okay, now there's something out here that's going to be better for you, safer for you, healthier for you, and definitely more effective than those pads that made you switch over to the tampon some years ago. So no, I have no opposition. Okay, whatsoever. My opposition is to those individuals that don't want to change. Okay, and but I understand why. Okay, but I still have an opposition to them not wanting to, and it's my job and Rahim's job and everybody in this room's job to educate. Okay, that it's not just about a pad; it's about health.
Right. Okay, excellent. Okay. And in your opinion, Dr. Malloy, and you've talked about this before, but since this is now Prostate Cancer Awareness, and many of us that are recording this live, we have new friends and family that have joined us. What is it about prostate cancer that makes it taboo for people to discuss, in particular among men?
Well, I think it's severalfold. I think it's, first of all, that word, that three-letter word you use, men. Okay, men don't like to speak about illness because then it makes them feel vulnerable. And the average man wants to feel like Hercules and Samson, okay? They want to feel as though nothing could ever happen to them. They can handle it. So that's the one. Men don't want to talk about something that may show that they can be ill. And on top of that, then if they do understand it, that means they have to do something about it. And one of the problems with prostate cancer in the African American community is that men are reluctant, okay, to find out. Okay, it's almost like if I find out, now I have to act on it. And if I have to act on it, then that means something is wrong with me. That means I'm not the macho, strong, invincible person that I thought I was. And that's not just prostate, okay? It's men in healthcare in general. If you don't mind me spending a few minutes talking about that, you know, I like talking about the fact of why do women outlive men for the most part, okay? Look at statistics. Why do women outlive men? And it's real simple. It's not complicated. From the time a woman is born, okay, whether she's coming through the mother's vagina or a C-section, she's coming from the abdomen, doesn't matter. From the time she is born to the time she leaves here, she's seen probably at least one doctor a year, all her life. She's a pediatrician until she reaches maybe teenagers or she's becoming sexually active. Then she starts seeing a gynecologist, and then she may have a few babies. So then at that point, maybe somewhere along the line, maybe a medical illness is picked up, diabetes, asthma, thyroid condition. So now she's seeing an internist in addition to the gynecologist. Then she sees the gynecologist maybe to the point where she doesn't feel she needs to have any more pap smears. And then, but she's now seeing an internist, okay, until she departs, okay? That's the woman. So there's a surveillance in her health, her entire life. So as we know about any disease, if you catch it early, okay, or if you're in a position for preventative therapy, preventative care, she may not get that. Well, if she has a healthcare worker that she's seeing, that healthcare worker can say to her, you know what, you're putting on a little too much weight, you need to back off, okay? Whereas if she's not seeing anyone, but in most instances, the woman is, and I think that contributes to her longevity. Now, let's flip the script. Let's look at a man. Okay, for those first 8, 9, 10 years, granted, I will be seeing a pediatrician. Unfortunately, to some degree, most pediatricians are female. So now you have this 10, 11-year-old saying to his mother, I really don't want to see that doctor. I feel a little uncomfortable. I feel a little embarrassed, because she's examining me. And, at that point, his hormones are starting to go up and he's starting to feel that little masculinity, okay? And so he's a little embarrassed. Well, again, I keep using the word unfortunate, but you have the mother who's saying, well, my son is playing soccer, basketball, football, he's healthy, he really doesn't need to have to see this doctor. I don't see anything wrong with him. He doesn't seem to be complaining of any discomfort. And that, in many instances, is the last time that young man sees a physician until he starts having chest pains and he's in the emergency room, okay? Or has appendicitis or something else. Well, a lot of instances, the cow is already out of the barn, okay? The hypertension has been there for 3 or 4 years. Maybe the diabetes has been there. And so he's already set in motion things that will decrease his lifespan because there wasn't someone there every year that may have picked up, okay, his blood pressure being elevated. Or he may have complained about some symptoms in urinating. My extreme doesn't seem to be as strong as it was. That may have been the first sign for someone to say, whoa, maybe your prostate is enlarged. Maybe we need to look at that. And so I know, and again, as much as I hate to admit this, in my father's case, that's exactly what happened to him. He didn't go, I was living in another state, I didn't even know he was having any issues, okay? Because again, they keep it to themselves, okay? And his stream was getting weaker. And the doctor told him, oh, you're an old man, that's normal, okay? When at that time, my father's prostate cancer was progressing. Once he was diagnosed, 11 months later, he was dead. And everyone knows prostate cancer is a slow-growing disease. So he didn't develop it, okay, 11 months before. Who knows how many years he may have had it. But again, the symptomatology was one that he played off because his physician told him there's nothing to worry about. So again, for men, I think that they have to be aware of the fact that there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we need to accept that it's not just us. Okay, you're not here just for you. You're here for your wife, your sister, your son, your brother, your neighbor. Okay, you're here for a lot of reasons. And everyone's life can be impacted, okay, by your life. And so if we take a holistic approach to that, then maybe we'll say to ourselves, well, I really feel okay, but if it'll please my mother, if it'll please my wife, if it'll please my sister, let me go. Now, I'll go. I don't think I need to go, but I'll go, okay? And you know what? I don't care what makes you go. I really don't. Just go, okay? You hear that Geico commercial, 15 minutes can save you whatever amount of money. You know what? 15 minutes could possibly add 15 years to a man's life. Because that exam, what can be done in 15 minutes in a doctor's office, okay, could possibly add 15 years to his life.
Thank you so much. And so, Rahim, what difference do you see the Right to Fight campaign making in local communities from your perspective?
From my perspective, just getting this information right here. Getting the information. I think we need to make that a part of the campaign.
Yeah.
Just 15 minutes, And I know it's a taboo subject as well for men. It's in comedy, men having to go do that prostate. But the numbers now, it used to be 40. Now, isn't it like a lower number now? They say for the age, African American.
For prostate cancer?
Yeah. Haven't they lowered the numbers for the exam?
Well, to me, there should be no age that you should feel fearful of having that exam. Because there are people, I know of a physician in Columbus, Georgia, who in his 40s died of prostate cancer, which means chances are in his 30s it was there. Okay, so, and I know we probably will mention something about these supplements and when people should start taking some supplements or just changing their lifestyle. The things that you mentioned are some of the causation factors for prostate cancer or prostate disease. So yes, it's whenever you're concerned about your health, age won't matter, okay? Because when you were in the military, when you're drafted, okay, you could be 18 years old. Believe me, they do a prostate exam on you, okay, at 18, at 19, at 20, okay? So at least, guess what? They have on your record what your baseline prostate feels like. So, and again, I know I don't want to take away from you, Rahim, but it's more to that rectal exam than just the prostate. Okay, rectal cancer, okay, is another factor that we need to be concerned about. And they say that 80% of rectal cancer can actually be palpated, okay, with the index finger when they do your exam. So it's not that they have to do a colonoscopy or an anoscopy. You'd be amazed the things that they can find just from that exam. So yes, there's no set age, okay? Whenever you're concerned about your health, okay, that's when you should have every aspect of your body checked.
Great. Okay, that's basically all the questions that I have. Do you all have any questions that you'd like to ask either of them?
How can men, because I know, black men were tested on a lot, in slavery and stuff, they injected them, stuff like that. So I think that's a fear for our men too, just that. But how can we help them get over that fear, help them realize that it's not like that. It's like we just need you to go and just get a checkup. You don't have to take the pills and, we can partner up on this, because I think a lot, my dad for sure is scared of that. He's told me, like, that's why he does it, because he don't want them to try to get over on him or try to, So how can do you have any suggestions maybe on what we can, how we can combat that?
And you bring up an excellent question, okay? And I think the only way you can answer that is education, okay? You can say to your dad, look, Dad, I'll go with you, okay? They're not gonna do anything to you other than examine you, okay, give you blood. We won't let any treatment be done until we get results, if necessary, a second opinion, and we talk about it. But at least it can't hurt to have diagnosis, to have a lab, to have an exam. And that's how you gotta take it step by step, because you're right. There are a lot of people who are afraid to have a diagnosis because then they are afraid on what's going to be done to them, okay? But what's worse, having a diagnosis and being afraid what's going to be done to you than not having a diagnosis and being subjected to the results of not having that information. And that's how you have to do it, okay? But you're right, we are afraid because of our past. And not just the past, okay? If you look in the literature and do your research, they say one of the reasons why African Americans men don't do well with prostate cancer is that access to healthcare, inadequate healthcare. They may go to, like my father went to the doctor, but the doctor told him, oh, for an old man, your screen is weak, no big deal. So it wasn't that he didn't have access, he had access, got the wrong information. Okay, so it's a matter of education. And sometimes the best education is right within the family. It's right within the family, because that person will see it's coming from your heart. Okay, it's coming from your heart. And they have to say to themselves, you know what, I don't want my daughter, she's bugging me, let's go on and get this done. Okay, whereas a friend may say to them, listen, I'm not going. The doctor may say, okay, I'll come and see you sometime. Sometimes the family member is the best advocate, okay, for helping men get over that inability to go and see what's going on.
And I'll add to that too. You can go even watch the little 5-minute videos with them on Max Life Prostate. Just be like, Dad, let's sit down and watch this together, because those are the Dr. Minus brothers actually formulated those, and I think one of them beat prostate cancer too. So, you know, maybe you could sit down and watch the video with them. Just be like, we're gonna watch this together. You know what I mean? Because you're concerned with his health. Yeah.
Did you have a question?
I mean, I don't really think I have a question rather than probably a remark, basically.
Okay.
Like I feel like this is my first time, not really first time hearing about the next life, but the prostate cancer thing is, along with the thyroid issue, is really affecting our side of the community really hard. And like the doctor said like a few minutes ago, it really is like I don't know if you have to convince people or maybe just make people see that, you know, we've been duped into trying to live a lifestyle that's not beneficial to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the television, you know, is America's greatest weapon, so it's like it dupes us into liking, you know, fast food and stuff like that. Along with along with family history. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, we gotta really be like educating ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I need to read up more on the prostate thing as well, because people my age don't like to talk about health. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as I start talking about organic food, you know, people like, you know, as soon as I start talking about stuff like that, so it's like, you know, people don't like talking about health. People don't like talking about men. As long as my age, I don't know about, you know, you guys' ages, but I can't talk to another man, maybe my brother, about your sexual organs. You know what I'm saying? And the way it's functioning or the way it works. Like, yo, I had a little weird sensation the other day. Have you ever felt that? I'm saying, like, people would be uncomfortable even having that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I don't know. That's just sort of what I wanted to make. Like, we definitely do need to start having more and more conversations to make me want to do an Instagram with it.
I think that reflects the numbers too.
Sure.
That might have something to do with it.
Well, it also goes, when I spoke to you when I first got here this evening, and I was saying, here it is, Prostate Awareness Month. This is Prostate Awareness Week. And I haven't seen, not that I've watched every football game, no. Not that I've watched every baseball game, no. But I haven't heard one announcer mention, okay, it would, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, okay, hey, John, you know, this is Prostate Awareness Month, okay, this is Prostate Awareness Week, okay, and just for people to hear that word, okay, sometimes the average male hasn't even heard, and if he's heard that word, he doesn't even really know what it means. He doesn't know where it is. You know, he may hear about someone having the disease, like when Andy Young had it, I think it was maybe in the news for a day or two, okay? But trust me, if a woman, and I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I'm just gonna show you the difference. If a woman had breast cancer, that would have been in the news the whole week, okay? It would have been front page of the AJC, okay? And so we have to understand that men are important.
Yes.
Okay, men got to understand that they are important.
Yes.
Okay, they have to understand that. And if you're not here, your importance is not here. Okay, your memory may be, but your importance isn't. And so we have to understand we can get illnesses, we can die from diseases, and can prevent those deaths by educating ourselves and taking care of ourselves. So this, what we're doing tonight, okay, is important. Okay, it's extremely important. And again, it was sad for me not to hear anything. Now, again, Prostate Awareness Week is the 17th to the 24th. The 23rd, okay, I think it's the 23rd is Sunday, okay, I'm gonna be really paying attention to see if anyone on any of the shows I watch as far as for football, if anyone even mentions it. You know, I know they're not going to say the guys are wearing light blue gloves in honor, okay, because the light blue color is supposed to be the color representative of prostate cancer awareness, light blue. So I know they're not going to be guys out there. It would shock me, and I would be pleasantly shocked if they said, oh, they're wearing light blue shoes this weekend, or they're wearing light blue gloves in recognition of Prostate Awareness Week. That, to me, would be just great and shocking. But those are the things, and we actually have to get those African American men, okay, who are the limelight. People, if they hear Kevin Hart speak, if they hear these people, whatever reason, whether it's a singer, a politician, an actor, okay, mention it, somebody will say, wow, you know, I never really thought about that. You know, the fact that, you know, Kevin Hart, you know, spent 5 minutes talking about the fact that Will Smith spent 5 minutes talking about that. You know, the fact that would help. Unfortunately, we're not seeing it, okay, but maybe it will change. Maybe Nspire, okay, with their products, okay, and the fact that, as Rahim said, on the internet, you can read or listen, watch about prostate health. Maybe that will educate and make people more aware.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and for you all spending time with us all this time on Facebook Live, for those of you who joined us via Facebook Live. And I thank you again for coming out, and I thank you all for your participation. And good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
I didn't know we were on Facebook Live.